Yi Chun, a true-born son of privilege, born with a silver spoon in his mouth, heir to a prestigious family. However, a sinister plot forced him into a desperate situation, forcing him to live a life on the run, like a vagrant. Despite this, the flames of revenge smoldered within Yi Chun's heart. Ultimately, he was murdered, his body discarded in a dilapidated, deserted temple. But fate had other plans. Could the protagonist die so easily? More accurately, the place where Yi Chun was abandoned wasn't an ordinary deserted temple, but a sacred, ancient, divine temple. A drop of Yi Chun's blood fell, soaking into the ancient dragon table, causing it to shatter into pieces. A earth-shattering tremor shook the heavens and the earth. From the rubble, a majestic fire phoenix spread its wings and soared. It gently lifted Yi Chun off the ground. A brilliant aura radiated from Yi Chun's body, making him look like an invincible god. From this moment on, Yi Chun possessed unparalleled power, like a Superman. This power transformed into a primordial flame, directly entering Yi Chun's forehead. The surging energy was like a flood washing everything away, leaving Yi Chun breathless. A sudden pain struck, causing Yi Chun to scream in agony. Ancient characters, burning like fire, began to appear on his body. Only when Yi Chun was almost unable to endure any longer did they gradually disappear. The sun had risen high above. On Yi Chun's forehead, 3 mystical characters, Manhwa, appeared. Yi Chun awoke from his trance. Surprisingly, this place granted him extraordinary strength and vitality, a feeling of being fully recharged, and he even received a bonus, a sword as thin as a dragonfly's wing. Ironically, 2 unlucky foes showed up on their own, giving Yi Chun the perfect opportunity to show off in front of his admirers the power of his newly acquired skill. Seeing the kid as persistent as a cockroach, they immediately swung their blades at him. But Yi Chun swiftly scooped up his beloved cat and dodged the attack. His Majesty the cat, seeing his servant, still caring for him like that, felt extremely pleased. Pressing their advantage, the 2 enemies continued their assault, but Yi Chun let them attack for a moment. Then he swiftly darted behind them, unleashing a terrifying aura, sending chills down their spines. In an instant, he leaped into the air, and with a casual kick, unexpectedly landed a double kill. 2 fatal blows sent his enemies to meet their maker. Yi Chun blamed himself for being too heavy-handed, but upon checking himself, he realized he had broken through to the body-tempering realm. Yi Chun smirked, thinking he was about to become the ruler of all creation. Meanwhile, the warden was completely oblivious to what was transpiring, still arrogantly threatening the pitiful slaves. He used the name of the deceased Yi Chun as a cautionary tale. Suddenly, a shadowy figure approached, making his eyes widen in terror. The very example he had just cited now stood imposingly before him. He had returned, seemingly even more formidable than before. Ye's face paled, consumed by terror, as if he were staring at a vengeful ghost. But upon confirming that it was indeed flesh and blood, he frantically screamed for his comrades to attack. "No, I'll teach this brat a lesson myself," he roared. Yi Chun remained unfazed, only finding it odd that the small cat suddenly leaped from his body. The ferocious Yi Bai charged forward, aiming straight for his throat. He unleashed a deadly blow, but it only sliced through the air. In the blink of an eye, Yi Chun appeared directly behind him, freezing him in place. Not out of fear, but because he had taken a full blow to the chest without even realizing it. He collapsed to the ground, unconscious. Yi Chun channeled his energy, radiating a brilliant aura that left everyone around him in awe. Unbelievable! The young master has broken through to the body-tempering pinnacle realm, as Yi Chun blazed with immense power, preparing to unleash a fatal blow. Yi Bai froze, but his power was suddenly neutralized, and he quickly realized something strange. An invisible force was pulling at his hands. Yi Chun's entire body began to shrink and contort, making Yi Bai incredibly smug. "This is my chance. Yi Chun, go meet King Yama," he roared. Yi Chun was quickly pushed to the point of coughing up blood, clutching his chest in agony as he gasped. "Am I still going to die?" Suddenly, a mysterious force urged Yi Chun to fight back. "No, I won't die," he screamed. Yi Chun poured all his remaining strength into his palms and unleashed a powerful counterattack. "This devouring heaven art is truly formidable," Yi Bai exclaimed in shock. "It can even devour an opponent's primordial essence." His train of thought was interrupted by Yi Biao's faint voice. The Yi clan will not let you go. Your older sister is imprisoned in the dungeon. Day after day, she endures brutal torture. Hearing this, Yichen was stunned and cried out in disbelief. What did you say? My sister is locked up in the clan's dungeon? Don't worry, sister. I will definitely come and rescue you. The guards immediately erupted in a frenzy of shouts. Yi Chun, you murdered Yi Biao. Quickly, everyone attack and kill him. Avenge Captain Yi. Yi Chun hovered in midair, lost in deep thought. It seemed that if he didn't eliminate all these people, he wouldn't be able to escape from here. After striking down a few as a warning, he coldly declared, if you want to share Yi Biao's fate, feel free to come after me. Panic erupted in the mine. News spread like wildfire. Yi Shun has broken the clan's forbidden rule. He's escaped from the mine. Quickly report to the clan. Yi Shun quickly found a secluded spot, hidden from view, to focus on his cultivation and strategize for the future. Absorbing Yi Bai's Yuan force has helped me break through to the middle stage of Qi refinement. Middle stage of Qi refinement. That's considered a renowned expert in Qinyan City. Only a few clan elders exceptional geniuses can reach this realm, but the path of cultivation is long. How can I continue to improve? More importantly, I must find a way to rescue my sister. He glanced at Zhou Wu, who was sound asleep. You're truly carefree, without a worry in the world. When danger strikes, you only know how to run. Well, just keep sleeping. But deep down, he knew. This divine beast's thoughts are beyond my comprehension. You want me to intervene with such meager skills? Laughable. Meanwhile, Yi Shun remained consumed by anxiety. His urgent priority was to continue absorbing vital energy. But where could he find a sufficient source of vital energy? Suddenly, he noticed a strange sound approach. A breathtakingly beautiful woman was desperately fleeing from relentless pursuers. She tripped and collapsed to the ground, helplessly watching as the wicked men hurled vile insults. Tired of running, princess? Ha ha ha. Commander Ma, when you're done having your fun, remember to share with us. Truly a princess, a beauty that could topple kingdoms. Don't worry. Once the mission is complete, we can play however we want. With those words, he lunged towards the princess and began to grope her. Her desperate warnings were like whispers in the wind. Commander Ma, you dare insult Her Highness the Princess? Do you not fear death? The lecherous man didn't hesitate, casually revealing the secret. Your Highness, you should ask His Highness the Crown Prince about this matter. Her eyes welled up with tears as she realized the devastating truth. Imperial brother, did you want to harm me? I'm doomed. Suddenly, a massive boulder plummeted from the sky, accompanied by a booming shout. Stop! Ma Duwei, catching the boulder with one hand, roared in shock. Who dares to act so recklessly? All eyes turned towards Yi Shun. He listened reluctantly to the admonishments. In broad daylight, you dare bully a defenseless woman? Have you no shame? Infuriated by the interruption, Ma Duwei bellowed. You brat, you talk too much. You have a death wish? You too. Teach him a lesson. The young man stood his ground, retorting. It seems you're forcing my hand. One of the underlings, Zhangzhe Tadashuli, yelled loudly. Note, Zhangzhe Tadashuli, relying on his power/influence, needs more context for a natural translation. You bastard! You dare ruin my good time? Are you tired of living? The horrified princess urgently warned the young master to be careful. He nonchalantly plucked a blade of grass from the roadside, wielding it like a weapon, casually probing and asking, is this crown prince truly as fearsome as the rumors say? Ma Duyi remained disdainful, acting as if no one mattered. With just a measly blade of grass, you think you can injure me. But when he witnessed his subordinate get pierced through by the blade of grass, terror began to set in. What's happening? How can an ordinary blade of grass be so sharp? Impossible. This power is too terrifying. Cold sweat trickled down Ma Duyi's forehead as the truth dawned on him. No, this can't be happening. Unless this brat has broken through to the Qi refining stage. At this moment, Yi Chun approached, solicitously asking, My lady, are you injured? Immediately, the princess urged him. Thank you for your concern, young master. I'm all right. Young master, please leave quickly. I don't want you to be in danger because of me. Yi Chun laughed heartily. Implicate? I've never feared those words. He swiftly helped the princess to her feet, whispered into her ear. My lady, do you have the strength to continue? Commander Ma immediately bellowed an order. Trying to run? Humph, don't even think about it. All men, listen up. Kill him for me. No matter who he is. Who is this brat? He dares to ruin this commander's plans? Death is his only path. Kill. Take his life. Seeing the princess's worry, Yi-chun heard her plea. "Young master, please run. Don't worry about me." Yi-chun smiled confidently, reassuring her. "Leave everything to me." Suddenly, an enemy swung his blade directly at him. "You little punk, you think you can handle us?" He'd barely finished speaking when he realized Yi-chun's formidable strength. Immediately after, a loud explosion rocked the air. Seeing that Yi-chun seemed to be injured, the princess cried out in panic. "Young master, run!" Commander Ma, standing beside her, sneered mockingly. "Submit to us quietly, or face the consequences." Before he could finish his sentence, a rock flew through the air and struck him squarely. Yi-chun confidently asserted, "I said I'd take care of this. I can't just leave it unfinished. A promise made is a promise kept. Running away isn't an option." From that moment on, Ma Duwei's men fell one after another at Yi-chun's hands. Only Ma Duwei remained standing, his face a mask of rage and frustration. He was surprisingly still on his feet. "Come meet your end," Yi-chun roared, charging forward. "I'll fight you to the death." Ma Duwei bellowed. The two clashed fiercely, their blows creating earth-shattering booms that shook the entire forest. Exhausted, Ma Duwei collapsed to his knees, but still managed to gasp. "So strong. This kid, a true master of chi cultivation." His words triggered a realization in Yi-chun. Could it be? "I've had a breakthrough," he wondered. Yi-chun's display also left Zhou Wu feeling incredibly satisfied. "You've got some skills, kid." Yi-chun and Ma Duwei continued their fierce battle. Furious roars echoed relentlessly through the air. "Damn it! If I die, we die together." At that moment, Zhou Wu and the watching crowd held their breath, anxiously observing the deadly duel. Both seemed evenly matched, neither gaining an advantage. Suddenly, Ma Duwei swung his blade, unleashing a fatal blow towards Yi-chun. Each step Yi-chun took as he landed on the ground carried tremendous power, causing the surrounding earth to crumble and crack. A wave of intense panic washed over Ma Duwei. "This brat, why is his body as hard as iron?" On the contrary, Yi-chun seemed incredibly excited. Could this be the power of the Devouring Heaven technique? "I'll risk circulating the Devouring Heaven technique again. Let's see if I can defeat you all." Not only was Ma Duwei completely suppressed, but even the subordinate standing beside the princess was stunned into silence. They exclaimed in terror, "What sorcery did you use?" Only the princess remained bewildered, a look of confusion on her face. Why am I not affected?" Yi-chun flashed a mischievous grin, a cunning glint in his eyes. "Don't worry, I won't harm you." The princess was about to retort angrily, "How dare you toy with this princess?" but abruptly changed her demeanor, becoming docile and obedient. She realized she had been overly disrespectful. Yi-chun glanced towards Ma Duwei, who lay gasping on the ground, and declared triumphantly, "This heavenly decree is truly overbearing. Unexpectedly, I've broken through to the late stage of chi refinement, and without expending any effort at all. It seems I need to accumulate more virtuous deeds in the future." The princess froze as she witnessed Zhou Wu's strange behavior. The divine beast's next action left her astonished. "Oh my, what an adorable kitty!" she exclaimed in admiration. Yi-chun felt a pang of jealousy. With the small cat now venturing into the towering mountains, the young man had another clue to ponder. It seemed this tiny creature's identity was far from ordinary. Just then, the princess rushed over, calling out loudly, young master, I must repay this kindness. Why don't you come to my manor and become the captain of my personal guard?" Yi-chun hesitated, a flicker of uncertainty crossing his face as he remembered. "But my older sister is still waiting for me at the Mu family estate." Ultimately, he politely declined her offer. "I appreciate your kind offer, Mississippi, but I have a more pressing matter to attend to." A hint of regret flickered in the princess's eyes. "In that case, may I ask for your name, young master?" The answer came immediately after. "I am Yi-chun." As soon as he spoke, he sensed approaching danger. The princess also immediately sounded the alarm. "Not good. Pursuers are coming." Yi-chun urged without hesitation. "Let's hurry back to Qingyun City." Couldn't resist teasing Zhou a bit. "That name really suits him, huh? All he does is sleep all day." Hearing this, the divine beast became even more smug, boasting, "If I weren't here to protect you, you would have been dead a long time ago, kid." The group quickly escaped the cavalry's pursuit, leaving them gnashing their teeth in frustration. "Damn it, the princess got away again. Find her, even if you have to dig 3 feet into the ground. You will find her." Soon, the group slipped inside Qingyan City. Although reluctant, Yi Chun had to say goodbye. My lady, fate has brought us together, but now our paths must diverge. Farewell. Note, this is a loose translation of a Chinese idiom about fate and parting ways. The princess nodded, slightly in agreement. Young master, if you change your mind, bring this token and find me. He smiled and accepted the jade pendant, then turned and walked away. The princess watched his figure disappear, thinking to herself, he's quite interesting. In the distance, the main gate of the Yi Manor stood tall and imposing. Meanwhile, in the cold, dark dungeon, Yi Ling-er, Yi Chen's older sister, was still enduring brutal torture. As usual, Yi Xiaogu appeared before her with a shameless proposition. Sister Ling-er, just give in to me, and you won't have to suffer this pain anymore. Her answer was just as he expected. Yi Xiaogu, don't even dream of it. And immediately after, his actions shocked even the guards. This young Master Yi is truly ruthless. Her wounds had just barely started to heal, and he's at it again. Indeed, a light beating every 3 days, a heavy one every 5. He must be truly lusting after Yi Ling-er. Well, she is stunningly beautiful. Even I'm starting to feel tempted. Yi Xiaogu continued to try and coax her with sweet words. Yi Ling-er, don't be stubborn. Your parents are dead. Your brother toils in the mines. If you continue to resist, I'm afraid I'll have to resort to harming Yi Shun. Give me a taste of you, and his life will be spared. Despite her struggles, he advanced, intent on his wicked intentions. Suddenly, he saw his men lying scattered on the ground, enraging him to a furious roar. Who dares interrupt my pleasure? Even Ling-er couldn't help but gasp in shock. Under these heavens, who could possibly save her now? But in the next moment, Yi Shun emerged as if from the depths of hell. She cried out in joy, Sister. Yi Xiaogu was filled with terror. Yi Shun, you bastard, how dare you return? You're courting death. His sister also urged frantically, Yi Shun, run. I'm not strong enough to face Yi Xiaoxie yet. Despite this, he recklessly challenged, retorting, Yi Xiaoxie, if you dare lay a finger on my sister, you will die here today. The defiant words made Yi Xiaoxie laugh heartily. A mere ant, daring to speak so boldly before this young master? Do you think you're still the genius you once were? With those words, Yi Xiaoxie fiercely charged, unleashing his Mang Niujin technique. Yi Shun immediately countered with a powerful, domineering surge of energy. The clash between the two created an earth-shattering tremor, as Yi Xiaoxie was brimming with arrogance. You pathetic waste, dare challenge me? This young master will. He suddenly looked around in panic. Where is he? No good. That little bastard escaped. Zhu Wu chased after Yi Shun, confidently thinking, with me here, you won't get away. Yi Ling-er, perched on her younger brother's shoulder, weakly pleaded, Xiao Chun, put me down, or you won't be able to escape. Yi Xiaoji's relentless pursuit continued, his attacks growing increasingly ferocious. Having cornered them, he gloated mockingly. You, good for nothing, think you can rescue Yi Ling-er and run? I, Yi Xiaogu, truly admire your courage, daring to return. Seeing her brother's life threatened, Ling-er desperately tried to reason with Yi Xiaogu. Let Xiaoqin go. I'll agree to anything. Hearing this, the young boy frantically protested. Sister, don't listen to that beast. Enraged, Yi Xiaogu lashed out, spewing insults. A worthless piece of trash like you, and you dare make demands of me. Fear flickered in Yi Chen's eyes as he desperately searched for a solution. The strength of a qi refining stage cultivator was so pathetically weak in front of Yi Xiaoxie. This only made him feel more pleased and excited. A piece of trash who can't even withstand a single kick from me. Yet you still delusionally think you can save someone? Let me tell you something. I've taken the returning dragon pill. My cultivation has already reached the peak of qi refining. You before me are not even worthy of being called trash. Hearing these arrogant words, Yi Chun roared with indignation and hatred. Returning dragon pill? You dare to touch the returning dragon pill that my father left for me. The reason for his fury was because the returning dragon pill was a mystical earth-grade spiritual pill, extremely precious and invaluable. Only disciples of certain great families during their breakthrough to a new realm were qualified to use such a priceless treasure. Yi Xiaoxie approached Yi Ling-er and pressed her. Just now you said you would agree to anything I asked. Now, seeing Yi Chen's helpless situation and faced with his sister's weak resistance, Zhou was finally forced to make a difficult decision. It seems I can no longer stand idly by. Boy, don't force me to use the 7 Despair death formation. Xiao Jiu suddenly leaped into the air and inflicted a deep wound on Yi Chen's back. He cried out in pain, his scream echoing through the air. All eyes turned towards Yi Chen. Yi Xiaoge cried out in alarm. Xiao Chen, brother, are you alright? What kind of wicked technique is this? Yi Chen's body suddenly burst into flames. Get your filthy hands off him this instant. Yi Xiaoge retorted with contempt. Wicked technique? You call that a wicked technique? You're just a mediocre late-stage chi refiner. The difference between late-stage and peak strength. I'll let you experience it now. He unleashed a punch with terrifying power. Yi Chen immediately retaliated without hesitation. As a result, Yi Xiaoji's arm was completely obliterated. Ling Er stared in disbelief. Wasn't Xiao Chen only at the late stage of chi refining? How? How can he be this strong? She wondered silently. Memories flooded back. 3 years ago, he was just a frail child, sobbing uncontrollably in the ancestral hall. His older sister, Ling Er, embraced him, gently comforting Xiao Chen. You must survive. As long as you live, there's still hope. Before she could say more, aggressive men dragged her away. Before being taken, Ling Er revealed a shocking secret. Their parents were murdered by treacherous individuals. She pleaded, even if you have to endure humiliation and barely survive, you must find a mastermind behind all of this. At this moment, Wu Yan was still furiously attacking Yi Xiaoge. Consider this your end, he declared coldly. Covered in blood, Yi Xiaoge desperately pleaded, Yi Chen, please spare my life. Ling Er quickly intervened, stopping Wu Yan. Don't kill him. He's the son of the Yi family head. Xiao Jiu, observing from afar, quietly muttered, so impulsive, just like I was in my youth. Sooner or later, it'll lead to trouble. No one could stop Yi Chen. He unleashed a powerful kick, sending the man flying. Ling Er helplessly watched the one she loved depart forever. You acted too rashly. She clutched Xiao Jiu tightly, tears streaming down her face. What do we do now? They'll kill Xiao Chen. It leaned against her shoulder, thinking to itself, it's all my fault. This brat still hasn't learned to control his rage. Xia Yi family, I swear I'll paint this place red with blood. Only one word consumed his mind. Kill. Yi Chen burst through the roof, diving into a bloody massacre. Screams of terror and pleas for mercy echoed everywhere. Please don't kill me. I beg you, spare me. In the blink of an eye, the place was reduced to a desolate ruin. Evil fiend. Stop this instant. Hearing the shout, he turned to look. 3 men were approaching. Yi Yuanjun spoke. This Yi Chen has cultivated demonic arts. He dared to murder Si Feng's eldest son. His crime deserves 1,000 deaths. Yi Yuantu agreed with the sentiment, nodding in approval. Indeed, this rebellious wretch also heartlessly slaughtered many other clan members. Let me end him. Let me seize this brat's martial arts. Yi Tianxiong's eyes suddenly changed. He dared to kill my own son. I want to personally punish him. Xiaoge, the son I love most, to die so tragically. This Yi Chen, his martial arts have progressed so much in such a short time. The martial arts he practices are extraordinary. No matter what, I must obtain these skills. He roared furiously. Yi Chen, you dare to kill Xiaoge. If you surrender your martial arts secrets today, I will grant you a swift death. Without hesitation, the young man charged forward. You dare stop me from seeking death? Ling Er frantically intervened. Xiao Chen, stop it. You're no match for the patriarch. Tian Xiong's face was filled with contempt. Just a measly shrimp, daring to show off in front of an expert. Sun and moon, blooming splendor. He conjured a gigantic flaming sword. Yi Chen could only stare, overwhelmed by the immense pressure. So this is the terrifying power of the late-stage divine ability realm. Ling Er rushed to Xiao Chen's side as he collapsed on the ground. The young man slowly lost consciousness, murmuring in his delirium, Father. Yi Qingyun asked his son while shooting arrows. Xiao Chen, why do you train in martial arts? The boy replied simply, to become strong. And what will you do after you become strong? Yi Chen voiced his thoughts. I want to rule over a region, to become the invincible strongest under heaven. His father chuckled upon hearing this. Wrong. Cultivating martial arts is not about becoming the strongest, but about protecting those you love. He finished speaking and hit the bullseye. The little boy cheered excitedly. Father, you're amazing. I must also become strong to protect my family. Qing Yin ruffled the boy's hair, smiling in praise. My good son. Father, the boy murmured sleepily, then slowly opened his eyes. Qing Er came running and shouted, Xiao Chun. She disregarded the danger and rushed forward to take the blow for him. Tian Hong roared in fury. Yi Qing Er, what do you think your worth is to the Yi family? Death? It's not your turn yet. Seeing his older sister gradually lose consciousness, the boy couldn't believe his eyes, repeatedly calling out, Sister, sister. The flames of hatred raged fiercely within him. Yi Tianhong, if I don't kill you with my own hands, Yi Chun, swear I won't be human. He didn't seem worried at all. You won't cry until you see the coffin. Literal translation, one doesn't shed tears until they see the coffin. Yi Chun charged straight towards Yi Tianhong, but Tianhong swiftly struck him in the stomach with his palm. Yi Chun coughed up blood and collapsed unconscious on the ground. Yuan Jun looked at the patriarch suspiciously. This Yi Chun is truly bizarre. Should we just eliminate him? Yuan Tu also voiced his agreement. This time, it's truly too unusual. Let this old man use the soul capturing secret art to probe his secrets. Tian Xiong channeled his energy to restrain Yi Chun. Killing him now would be too easy for him. I know how to deal with this brat. Take Yi Ling for treatment. She's still useful. With that, he immediately shot off. The other two were left stunned. Could it be that the patriarch intends to throw that brat into the 10,000 Serpent Cave? The Yi family spirit serpent in the 10,000 Serpent Cave is the myriad venom serpent, nourished by countless venomous insects for many years. There's no antidote that can counter its venom. Even divine ability realm martial artists will be poisoned to death. Anyone who falls into the 10,000 Serpent Cave will suffer a slow and agonizing death. Therefore, the dreaded 10,000 Snake Cave was also the execution grounds for those who disobeyed the Yi family. Yi Tianxiong coldly tossed him down at the cave entrance. His voice icy. I'll give you one last chance. Hand over the martial arts manual or perish in this 10,000 Snake Cave. Make your choice. Yi Chen stood tall, his gaze resolute, unyielding to the cruel old man. You wish. Even if I have to die, I will never give the manual to someone like you. Yi Tianxiong's face darkened. He gritted his teeth and roared. You wretched brat. It seems you're determined to seek death. Then kill me. Yi Chen challenged. If I, Yi Chun, beg you for mercy, then I'm your son. Yi Chen showed no fear, his words pushing Yi Tianxiong to his limit. Enraged, he kicked Yi Chen straight into the cave. Ungrateful beast. Go down there and be snake food. Upon landing, countless venomous snakes slithered towards Yi Chun. Tian Xiong suddenly remembered his father from years past. Arrogant, reckless, and unreasonable. Death is the price for foolishness. With that, he turned and coldly walked away. Meanwhile, Yi Chun was struggling to deal with the swarm of venomous snakes. Suddenly, a snake opened its jaws wide and sank its fangs deep into his hand. As the venom coursed through him, Yi Chun foamed at the mouth and convulsed. Xiao Jiu, sensing the imminent danger, rushed into the cave, transforming into a powerful lion, determined to save Yi Chun. Though you are not the one destined to die, you dare to challenge fate. I cannot stand idly by. Xiao Jiu roared, a sound that shook the heavens. The snakes, terrified, quickly released Yi Chun. So Tian Kai isn't. The horde of snakes was instantly engulfed in a sea of flames. A mysterious voice echoed, laced with contempt. Who dares to cause such chaos in my 10,000 snake cave? Xiao Jiu easily recognized the voice. It seems the myriad venom snake king has arrived. Upon appearing, it immediately roared in fury. Who dares to devour my descendants? Zhou Wu, you're courting death. It was startled to recognize an old acquaintance. Xiao Jiu slowly advanced towards Xiao Pixia. You finally show yourself. The myriad venom snake king couldn't believe its eyes. An ancient divine beast here. I am the myriad venom snake king. How could I possibly fear an ancient divine beast? Such arrogance from a mere Xiao Pixia. Back in the day, even your ancestor Xiang Lu wouldn't dare raise his voice in my presence. Hearing this, the Snake King flew into a rage, letting out an earth-shattering roar. Xiao Jiu instantly unleashed the heavenly claw, determined to teach it a lesson it would never forget. Crimson blood erupted, painting the ground a vivid red. The ancient beast possessed terrifying power beyond all expectation. In a flash, it shifted its attention to the detestable Yi Chun. If I can't kill you, I'll kill that brat. Xiao Jiu leaped forward, shielding Yichun with her body. A measly snake demon, cultivated for a mere few hundred years, dares to touch someone of mine? You're tired of living. They clashed, a battle that shook the very heavens and earth. In a matter of moments, Xiao Jiu sank her fangs into the Snake King. Impossible. I am the one Yao Snake King, renowned throughout the land. How could I be defeated? The Snake King trembled violently, then lost consciousness. Kind-hearted Xiao Jiu decided to lend him a hand. Time to send you on your way. The Snake King's body burst into flames, reducing him to ashes. Not a trace remained. Amidst the chaos, Yichun sat calmly in a corner, his expression unchanged. Your Highness, last night, the chief detective witnessed Yichun fall into the 10,000 Demons Cave. Jingxi gasped in horror. What do you mean? Is he alive or dead? This subordinate doesn't know. Anxious, she ordered, quickly send someone to investigate further. The subordinate respectfully replied, yes, miss, and swiftly departed. Jingxi's heart burned with anxiety. She worriedly wondered, could it really be? You fool, what's wrong with coming back to the manor with me? The next morning, as dawn broke, and the sun peeked over the horizon, Yichun slowly opened his eyes. He looked around in a daze, muttering, I'm still alive? What happened last night? Moreover, it seems like my cultivation has broken through again. Yichun stroked Xiao Jiu's head, asking, when did you get here? Could it be you saved me last night? As soon as he finished speaking, he chuckled, realizing how silly he sounded. I wonder how she's doing. How is Jingxi doing now? I have to go save her immediately. With that, Yichun didn't hesitate and immediately sprang into action and bravely leaped out of the terrifying 10,000 snake cave. Just then, Ling Er suddenly woke up. Miss, you're finally awake. She slowly sat up, her expression still hazy. Xiao Mei, is that you? Little Xiao Mei, with tears welling up, quickly embraced Ling Er. When they took you away, I thought I would never see you again. Tian Xiong stood in the distance, silently observing everything. If it weren't for Yi Chen's unexpected return this time, I wouldn't have guessed that Xiao Gu would dare to have his eye on Yi Ling Er, and even lose his life for her. Please rest assured, clan leader. Fortunately, Yi Ling Er's injuries are not too serious. But I'm warning you, before taking her to the Imperial Palace, make sure that what happened with Xiao Gu will never happen again. Yes, clan leader, the other person respectfully replied. Yichun, I've found we're sisters being held captive. You must wait for me. With such tight security, getting inside would be harder than climbing to the heavens. Breaking in during broad daylight would cause too much commotion. I'll go to the scripture pavilion first and wait until nightfall to return. Young master, please wait. Just as he was about to leave, a voice called out, stopping him in his tracks. My lady sent me here to find you, young master. Confused, he asked the stranger who he was referring to. For the past 3 years, I haven't made the acquaintance of any young ladies. My lady, the young woman, then recounted how 2 days ago, in the forest outside the city, the young master had saved her. Yishin vaguely remembered. It was her. She took out a small pouch. My lady instructed me to personally deliver this into your hands, young master. He honestly refused, explaining that helping her was simply the chivalrous thing to do. How could he accept a gift? The young woman quickly pressed the pouch into his hand, saying, please, young master, just take it. Curious, Yishin opened the pouch. Inside was a precious item. It contains a Fulong Dan. This young lady's background is far from ordinary. Her family's influence might even surpass the Yi family's. Well then, we'd be honored to accept. Literally, it would be rude to refuse. Keep it. It might come in handy someday. When I looked up, she was gone. Where did that little girl go? At the Cultivation Technique Pavilion, the guards were slacking off, dozing on duty. Yichin easily slipped inside, without encountering any obstacles. He looked around. He'd never been here before, so this is what it looks like inside. Xiaojiu. Look, isn't that the legendary Chuaningzhu? In the Xuanwu continent, it's a common item for disseminating cultivation techniques. Because of its rarity, only certain powerful individuals in great clans can use their souls to absorb the images stored within. That's why it's so incredibly expensive. Unbelievably expensive. Suddenly, an old man appeared, his demeanor dignified, his spiritual energy radiating even stronger as he ascended to the higher floors. Only those with extraordinary abilities could set foot on the 4th floor and above. The rest had to rely on predestined fate and destiny's arrangements. Judging by your appearance, This must be your first time entering this cultivation technique tower, right? Yi Shun suddenly remembered. This was the elderly Qi Ling that his father used to talk about. Truly extraordinary. His reputation precedes him. He respectfully bowed. Greetings, Senior Qi Ling Sr. How can I reach the upper floors? The old man gently waved the magic staff in his hand. Isn't there a staircase right there? Yishin looked up, observing carefully. Forget it, I'll just give it a try. Yishin thought to himself. The elderly Qi Ling pondered. Isn't that young lad Yishun supposed to be at the mines? How did he suddenly appear at this cultivation technique tower? If he dares to return here, I'll have to see. Do you have what it takes to reach the third floor? Xiao Jiu darted in front of the old man, its body starting to transform. Within seconds, Xiao Jiu returned to its original form. The old man stared at the small creature in astonishment, stammering, "You are..." Xiao Jiu signaled for silence. "Do not reveal my true identity. The time is not right." The Qi Ling nodded slightly. "I understand." Meanwhile, Yi Chun was still diligently conquering each step. These cultivation techniques are all earth rank. The higher I go, the more powerful the techniques will surely be. I must continue climbing and see what's up there. Suddenly, Yi Chun froze, his body feeling as heavy as lead. He immediately understood the problem. "No wonder, Father said the scripture pagoda was not easy to conquer. This pressure is truly immense." Yichen mustered all his strength, leaping onto the next step. "This little pressure is not enough to trouble me," the Qi Ling observed, silently assessing him. "Qin Yun's son isn't too bad after all. He's reached the third floor." Xiao Jiu spoke up. "Just you wait and see." The old man's gaze followed. "But by the fourth level, I fear things will become unpredictable." Yichun focused all his mental energy. The higher he climbed, the more terrifying the pressure became. "I can't leap forward anymore. I can only take it one step at a time, but I can still endure." Suddenly, a black panther materialized, blocking his path. Yichun gritted his teeth, enduring. "The pressure is immense. I can barely breathe." Yichen's steps faltered, his whole body trembling with each breath. Qi Ling was slightly astonished. The fifth level. This kid, he actually reached the fifth level. I remember back then. He clearly wasn't the chosen one. Xiao Jiu scoffed. "How many years have you lived? The heavens are unpredictable. How could you understand?" Yichen suddenly remembered something. "I forgot I still have a dragon restoration pill. What am I waiting for? Must I wait until my sister needs saving before I use this? By then, it'll be too late." He berated himself. "I've overcome countless obstacles to get here. No matter the cost, I must persevere until the end. I cannot give up. If not now, when?" he muttered to himself. The moment he swallowed the returning dragon pill, his entire body ignited, his aura surging dramatically. Each step he took was powerful and resolute, as if threatening to crush the ground beneath him. Finally, he reached the seventh floor. "Senior, is this the Saint Realm cultivation technique you mentioned?" he asked respectfully. The Qi spirit replied, "Indeed, but unfortunately, it's merely a copy, not the complete original." He curiously approached. "Just a copy? Let me see what it's like." "Hold!" The old man hastily stopped him. "You haven't undergone the bloodline trial. You're not qualified to take this cultivation technique." Yishin was puzzled. "Bloodline trial? What's that?" The Qi spirit slowly explained. "Without undergoing the bloodline trial, even if you obtain this jade, you won't be able to comprehend the cultivation technique within. That is the established rule." Xiao Jiu whispered clearly, "Those things are completely useless, utterly ineffective. This battle must continue. Aren't you curious to know the final outcome? It's just a temporary fix. Consider a lost cause. It still needs to be checked one more time. At this point, there's no other choice." "I have to agree." "Then please begin the inspection. If you're ready, let's begin immediately," he replied decisively. "Initiate the bloodline examination ritual." I wonder what kind of bloodline this young man possesses. His spirit is remarkably strong. If a bloodline isn't properly tempered, its potential will ultimately be limited. Xiao Jiu whispered, "Perhaps it can awaken my bloodline true essence." "Think it over carefully." Yishin slowly closed his eyes, then suddenly exclaimed in shock. "A supreme-grade bloodline. It's actually a supreme-grade bloodline." Xiao Jiu smiled faintly, thinking to himself, "I told you so, but you didn't believe the words of the ancient divine beast." The Qi spirit focused on probing, meticulously examining. This time, not only was the soul extraordinarily powerful, but it also possessed top-grade bloodline. someone with such potent blood flowing through their veins, even surpassed the Yi family's ancestor from back then. Could this be the once-in-a-century genius? The prodigy the Yi family had been waiting for all this time? What a pity, such a pity. Such a remarkable genius was treated as trash by them. It bluntly remarked. Yi family members are truly blind, commoners unable to recognize true talent. A moment later, Yi Chen slowly opened his eyes. Senior, can I take it with me now? He replied, yes, yes, as expected of Qing Yun-san. Here, let me show you how to use it. Place your hand on this orb. Yi Chen thought to himself, this old senior sure changes his tune quickly. Then, he followed the instructions. A majestic dragon suddenly emerged from the orb, and then it merged into Yi Chen's body. Yi Chen's entire body suddenly glowed a deep crimson. Qi is the foundation of cultivation. Cultivating Qi is tempering the body, transforming the microparticles within the body into unparalleled dragon elephant power. The human body is composed of 840 million microparticles. Every time a microparticle is awakened, it will generate the power of one dragon and one elephant. If all the microparticles are awakened, one will instantly reach the saint realm, capable of plucking stars from the sky, making the heavens and earth tremble, causing landslides and tsunamis. Everything will be within reach. Soulless is the supreme cultivation technique passed down in legends, although it's only a remaining fragment. In the art of Qi cultivation, it still reaches an unfathomably profound realm. If the other half could be found, it would be truly magnificent. By then, with all 840 million microparticles unlocked, Yi Chen opened his eyes and wondered, why is this orb no longer glowing? Qi Ling slowly explained, because spiritual energy has shifted away from Zhou and Yi. There will no longer be any soul strong enough to withstand the power of this cultivation technique. Yi Chen, you are the first to master the dragon elephant prison shaking force, and you will also be the last. So that's it. Yi Chen thought to himself, the questions in his heart now clear. Yi Chen asked worriedly, Senior, is my condition all right? Qi Ling excitedly replied, very good, exceptionally good. I knew you were an outstanding genius, a once-in-a-century talent of a Yi family. But even an exceptional genius cannot fully withstand the power of this technique. If you're not careful, you could self-destruct and perish. Let me tell you, back then, your father and I, Qing Yun-san, is truly remarkable. Yi Chen recalled, this old man never used to speak like this before. Xiao Jiu whispered into Qi Ling's ear. What the hell do you know? What are you babbling about here? We still have a great responsibility to bear. The old man coughed a few times before slowly continuing. Yi Chen, your father and I had a certain connection in the past. You have obtained the saint-level cultivation technique, so I would like to offer you a small gift as well. The spirit gently waved its magic staff, and Yi Chen's clothes instantly transformed. This blue robe was as thin as cicada wings, as light as a feather, capable of negating half the damage from swords and blades. It was truly a rare treasure. Overjoyed, Yi Chen jumped up and thanked the senior. Thank you, senior. Finally, I don't have to go barefoot anymore, the young man thought to himself. The old man looked at Yi Chen sternly and warned. You are the one who shoulders the fate of the world. But remember this, never let hatred cloud your judgment. Your parents' death is not as simple as it seems. The people of the Yi clan back then were merely used by others. He anxiously inquired. So, in the end, who killed my parents? Senior Qi Ling, please tell me. Your parents' death is related to the Holy Court. That's all I can say. With that, he turned and walked away. Yi Chen pondered deeply. How could that be? My parents were just from a small, insignificant clan, and my mother had no power whatsoever. He shouted, Disciple understands, senior. Qi Ling silently observed Yi Chen. This young man truly possesses the demeanor of a true chief disciple. Brother Qing Yun in the underworld can finally rest in peace. But I wonder how far Yi Chen can go on this path. Arriving at the Yi family gates, Yi Chen could only think of his older sister. Sister, please, nothing must happen to you. I have to save her quickly. A subordinate immediately reported this news to Xing Shi. Reporting to Princess, Yi Chen had just arrived at the Yi family dungeon, presumably to rescue his older sister. But she anxiously pressed, But what? The young man continued, My sister is no longer in the dungeon. The Yi family has secretly moved her somewhere else. Unease filled her heart. This Yi Chun is too careless, she thought to herself. No wonder even the servants say. He's honest and naive. I can't delay any longer. If I don't act now, I'm afraid I'll lose my life in the Yi family. A guard, puzzled, asked his captain, say, Yi Ling, Ni is already locked up in the prison. So what are we still guarding here for? He barked, shut up. The young master's intentions are not for the likes of you to casually guess. The other guard quickly bowed his head. Yes, yes, I spoke out of turn. Murmurs and whispers filled the air again. Rumor has it that Yi Ling Ni has been returned to her chambers. Living a life of luxury, no one dared to lay a finger on her. Rumors had long circulated that Yi Ling Ni's father, Yi Shun, was the protector of Huangmai. No wonder 3 years ago, when assassinated, he managed to return alive. The former Grand Prince, it was said, held another secret. Upon returning to the Yi family this time, Yi Shun caused a massive uproar, even forcing the newly appointed young master to return and resolve the matter. These two young masters were always at odds, so why? Was there a rumor that one of them was suddenly slapped in broad daylight? Which bastard dared to hit this young master? As soon as he finished speaking, the other one received a resounding slap as well. Sensing someone approaching, both immediately bowed their heads respectfully. Young master, Yi Ching Tian smiled, slowly walking towards them. Speak up if you have something to say. Let Yi Shun hear it clearly as well. The servant pleaded in terror. Young master, please spare my life. I know my mistake. We won't do it again. Please forgive us. Confess honestly, and I will consider your case carefully. Both replied in unison, yes. From afar, Yi Shun observed silently, with the guards on high alert. Finding an opening to sneak proved difficult. Noticing a distracted guard, he immediately used all his strength and dashed inside. Witnessing Yi Shun's actions, Xiao Jiu shook his head in disapproval. This naive and reckless kid, who knows what traps lie ahead? Why would sister? After searching for a while, he finally spotted Ling Er. Without hesitation, Yi Shun rushed over and shouted, Sister! The person burst into laughter. Sister? You're wrong. It should be brother. The door behind Yi Shun slammed shut. Xiao Jiu smirked. Just as I predicted, it was a trap. Such a fool. Yi Shun finally realized. So, it was a trap? It was you. Qing Tian spoke up. Brother Yi Shun, it's been years since we last met. Long time no see. He approached Yi Qing Tian, his voice dripping with sarcasm. You shouldn't have come. You must be quite disappointed that your assassination attempt on me failed, no? He replied calmly, his expression unchanging. Disappoint? Actually, I instructed Yi Bai to torture you slowly to death. But your little whelp couldn't wait and acted prematurely. Truly disappointing. Yi Chen roared in fury. How can you be so cruel? Back then, when I was the young master, the patriarch treated you like his own brother. Why are you hounding me to death? He let out a cold laugh. Like his own brother? That was nothing more than your foolish delusion. You were born the patriarch's son, while I was the Yi clan's #1 genius. So what? If your father hadn't died, I would never have had a chance. He roared with resentment. That's exactly why. You murdered my parents. Qing Tian seethed with hatred, his teeth gnashing together. You're about to die anyway, so it won't hurt to tell you. On the surface, our Yi family is a prominent martial arts clan, but in reality, we have always been the protectors of the royal bloodline. Even now, the Crown Prince's ascension to the throne can be considered orchestrated by us. Your father was a fool, ignorant of the current situation, blindly loyal to the emperor, even choosing suicide over revealing the secrets of the imperial mausoleum. He even dared to accuse the court of deceiving him. How could my father commit suicide? The Yi family has only one inheritor of the pure bloodline in each generation. Your father committed suicide because he didn't want to leave a single drop of his blood to anyone else. Yi Chen asked in confusion. Then what about me and my older sister? He looked at you with disdain. You're just trash. Your sister is the chosen one. Surprised, aren't you? From that moment, Xiao Jiu understood everything. So that's how it was. Waking up to the same old tragic story every time. This time was truly a special experience. He anxiously pressed, Where's my sister right now? What have you done to her? What's become of her? Our Yi family wouldn't dare harm your sister. The young man didn't believe the explanation. You're lying. I saw her with my own eyes in the manor last time. Qing Tian calmly analyzed Yi Xiao Ge. That fool back there, pay attention to him. She would only dare to give him a couple of lashes. If she really did anything to her, forget about you. Even her own father will want to kill that guy. The way he is, he wouldn't even die unjustly. Qing Tian slowly unfolded his fan. Besides, Yiling heir turned 16 over half a year ago. When she turns 18, her bloodline will awaken. But the young man still couldn't grasp the hidden meaning. Guess what the crown prince will do to her? Xiaoqi immediately rushed forward. This is bad. That madam sure is vicious. He lightly waved his fan. Suddenly, countless sharp darts rained down. Yichen quickly used the stones he'd picked up before entering to counterattack. I anticipated this, he thought, but Xiao Jiu looked surprised. Oh, NDT Zero has actually improved a bit. Looks like I don't need to intervene. Yi Qing Tian, do you think I'm still the naive boy I once was? He questioned Yi Chun, his eyes filled with hidden meaning. Do you think you could defeat me with such petty tricks? Yi Chun stood still, observing Qing Tian, deep in thought. What scheme is this cunning villain brewing now, he wondered. Qing Tian winked at Yi Chun, his voice brimming with confidence. This hidden weapon is called the Thousand Spider Web. If you could escape so easily, it wouldn't be called the Thousand Spider Web. As soon as he finished speaking, a bizarre, dark energy gradually enveloped Yi Chun. Sensing the imminent danger, he immediately sought an escape route. But as he turned around, Yi Chun saw Qing Tian blocking his path. Just one whiff of this poison, and your body will be paralyzed. You'll suffocate and die. Yi Chun, you're still the same naive boy you always were. Xiao Jiu thought to herself, this spoiled brat. His methods are truly ruthless. But this antidote has no effect on birds. Yi Chen channeled all his strength into his arm, launching an attack towards him. He thought to himself, this poison must have been concocted from the Wan Yao serpent. Quan Tian remained unfazed after being struck, and even began to taunt him. How are you unaffected? The cave is littered with the bones of the Wan Yao serpent. It really is connected to you. Yi Chen scoffed, retorting, if you hadn't mentioned it, I would have almost forgotten about the Wan Yao serpent. Heaven not only spared my life, but also granted me a delicious meal of roasted snake meat. Quan Tian aggressively challenged him. If you have any more tricks, bring them on. Witnessing this, he quickly intervened. You brat, stop your boasting. Qing Tian's fury surged. I'll give you a taste of a Yi family's heaven world crushing art. Ice freeze. Countless sharp ice shards hurtled towards Yi Shan. Xiao Jiu placed her complete faith in him. And don't you dare disgrace the heaven world art. Qing Tian roared furiously. Die. What the hell is the heaven world art? I'll show you the true power of the saint world art. Yi Shan couldn't hold back any longer and unleashed the dragon elephant prison-shaking force in retaliation. In an instant, his earth-shattering power obliterated everything. Rocks crumbled and flew everywhere. Even the sturdy city wall couldn't withstand it, and countless cracks appeared as if it was about to collapse. Qing Tian's eyes widened in horror, his jaw dropping. You bastard. To think you could learn the dragon elephant prison-shaking force. Impossible. This can't be happening. Unacceptable. I'm the one and only genius of a Yi family. Even I couldn't pass the bloodline test. How could you possibly succeed? A mysterious green light suddenly shone down from above into the cave, astonishing everyone present. Seizing the opportunity while he was distracted, he immediately leaped over the wall, searching for an escape route. He didn't want to bother with him anymore. Escaping from here was the priority. As soon as his feet touched the ground safely, he ran into another group of people blocking the way outside. Where do you think you're going? Xiao Chu yawned languidly, a bored expression on his face. You want me to do this again? Such a hassle. I haven't gotten a wink of sleep these past few days. Yi Chun pointed furiously at Yi Qing Tian, shouting, Yi Qing Tian, you are a despicable villain. This was clearly a fight between the two of us. Yet you deployed so many decoys. He replied calmly, all's fair in love and war. You were just careless and underestimated me. Who's to blame now? Qing Tian's father also spoke up. I can't believe you escaped from the 10,000 snake cave. If I had known this day would come, I would have eradicated you years ago. Qing Tian, seeing this, added fuel to the fire, provoking his father. Father, he even dared to go to the Dharma Arts Pavilion and secretly colluded with that old scoundrel Qi Ling. He also seemed surprised by this information. Unbelievable. He actually learned the dragon elephant prison-shattering force. Yi Chen responded to them with disdain. You're clearly not qualified. Unable to pass the bloodline trial. Yet you dare call yourself the #1 genius of the Yi family? Pathetic. Qing Tian frowned and said coldly, you're about to die, yet you still boast such arrogance. Enough with the theatrics. It's time for Yi Tianxiong to teach you a lesson you'll never forget. You dare to show off in front of a peak divine ability realm expert like me. Today, I swear I won't let you leave this Yi residence alive. He summoned a blazing sword, his aura overwhelming, and without hesitation, sent it hurtling towards Yi Chun. Rage boiled within Yi Chun like a volcano about to erupt. This trick again? Today, I'll risk it all against you. Xiao Jiu's eyes widened in indescribable horror. I can't hesitate any longer. I have to act. The battle raged fiercely, when suddenly a figure appeared before Yi Tianxiong. The figure commanded him. Patriarch Yi, stop this instant. Yi Tianxiong jolted, stunned by Mo Xingxi's sudden appearance. Your Highness, why are you here? He glanced at his son and thought to himself, how is she still alive? Xingxi addressed Patriarch Yi. Young Master Yi Chun is my savior. I beseech your majesty to hand him over to me for judgment. 1,000 worries and anxieties arose in the hearts of Tian Xiong and Qing Tian. They never expected the situation to unfold this way. Truly, man proposes but heaven disposes. Who would have thought that little brat, that Yi Chun, could actually save the princess? The words princess struck Xiao Jiu and Yi Chun like a bolt of lightning, leaving them both stunned. Xiao Jiu looked at her with eyes full of love and tenderness. She truly was a breathtaking beauty. He blurted out in awe. No wonder a rare treasure like the returning dragon pill could be so easily bestowed upon someone. Jing, she pouted, her face filled with anger. Idiot! Only thinking about the returning dragon pill. Qing Tian whispered into his father's ear. Father, if we don't eliminate Yi Chen today, I fear we'll never have another chance like this. Tian Xiong reassured his son, don't worry, and respectfully reported to the princess. Your Highness, this is an internal matter of our Yi family. Please don't concern yourself. A mysterious old man in a conical hat suddenly appeared and intervened. Yi Tianxiong, you are merely a Kamiko, Jeju, head of the family, yet you dare to disrespect the holy court princess. Could be you have someone backing you up? The old man frankly stated his opinion. Yi Shan murdered a member of my clan. Naturally, he will be punished according to family law. I hope Elder Mo and Her Highness will not interfere in this matter. Jing Shi started to develop a dislike for this old man. This Yi Tianxiong is truly too arrogant, too conceited. Seeing that Tianxiong remained stubborn and refused to listen, Elder Mo decided to teach him a lesson. You dare to be insolent to the princess. This old man will not stand idly by today. Elder Mo's spirit beast, Anya, appeared with a majestic and domineering aura. Tian Xiong was no pushover either, immediately unleashing a fiery sword attack in response. Our Yi family may be small, but we won't let others interfere in our internal affairs. The old man silently reassessed the situation. Yi Chun possessed extraordinary talent and had the princess's backing. If he were to spare his life, this boy will surely become a great menace, a boundless threat in the future. Mo Lao, using the last shred of compassion he had left, warned Yi Tianxiong. Yi Tianxiong, you must consider this carefully. Think about the dire consequences of laying a hand on me. Tianxiong observed Mo Lao. The old man possessed profound and unfathomable strength. On one side was the majestic golden eagle. On the other, the sword god with unparalleled swordsmanship, unmatched by anyone. This battle was bound to be incredibly fierce, a clash of titans. Seeing the situation escalating, Yi Shan had to find another way to resolve the crisis. He summoned Yi Xian Tian to discuss a deal. Don't you always consider yourself the most exceptional genius of the Yi family? Then in 3 months, let's meet at Qingyun Terrace to determine the victor. Let's settle this once and for all. We'll see who is truly the strongest. If you win, I'll submit to your judgment. But if I win, tell me where your sister is. Now, below the stage, the crowd buzzed with excited chatter. Is the Qingyun platform toying with human lives? I hear young master Yi Qing Tian has reached the mid-stage spirit condensation realm. That Yi Chun kid has a death wish. She turned to Yi Chun, worry etched on her face. Yi Chun, she whispered. Yi Qing Tian is a mid-stage spirit condensation expert. You're no match for him. Yi Chun smiled, gently taking her hand. It's the only way out of here, he murmured. This is our only way out. She looked at him, admiration flickering in her eyes. Never thought this foolish boy could be so clever. Yi Chun raised his voice again. Yi Qingtian, do you dare accept my challenge? Give me a straight answer. Yi Qingtian pondered. Elder Mo had intervened. It seemed killing this brat today was out of the question. After a moment, he lifted his chin. Yi Chun, you've sealed your own fate. I accept your challenge. With that, the three of them turned and left. Yi Chun didn't forget to reiterate their agreement. To meet again in 3 months at Qing Tai. Kuyin Thien, filled with immense hatred, gritted his teeth and spat. 3 months from now will be your death day. Elsewhere, Xiao Ju cheerfully chased after Jingxi. My princess, what brings you here? Suddenly, Xiao Bai appeared, taking Xiao Jiu completely by surprise. Brother Zhou Wu, it's been a while. Xiao Jiu asked excitedly. You've awakened too? Xiao Bai reminded him, his tone unchanged after all these years. Old pervert, stop paying attention to my princess. Xiao Jiu worried to himself, thinking, it seems General Liu is about to awaken as well. I wonder who summoned him back to the mortal realm this time. Inside the magnificent imperial palace, Yi Chan was diligently cultivating. The flames of passion burned fiercely within him. However, he couldn't help but worry about the upcoming duel to face Qing Tian. Only 3 months remain until the martial arts tournament at Qing Tai. Grandfather Qi Ling once said, I possess an extraordinary destiny, born with exceptional talent. Therefore, your cultivation path will be filled with 81 tribulations. After 3 arduous days of intense training, I have finally succeeded in initially grasping the dragon elephant subduing demon technique. My aperture has been awakened for at least 3 days now. My abilities have reached a new level. Jingxi quietly approached, observing Yi Chen's training. Overjoyed, Yi Chen hurriedly called out, Your Highness. She playfully reproached, Why do you keep your distance by calling me Your Highness? It sounds so formal, as if we're strangers. Yi Chen scratched his head, flustered. I wouldn't dare, Your Highness. Jingxi smiled gently. All right, I was just teasing you. From afar, Mo Lao carefully observed their interaction. The princess's demeanor. Could it be that she has fallen for this young man? Deep down, Jingxi harbored a constant worry for Yi Chun. Despite his arduous and diligent cultivation, defeating Yi Qingtian would be an incredibly difficult feat. Yi Chun resolutely replied, I know at worst, I'll risk my life. Elder Mo stepped forward, proposing a plan to Yi Chun. A mantis trying to stop a chariot, Bujilang Li, overestimating one's capabilities. Your only chance to defeat Yi Qingtian is to use the dragon transformation pill. To reforge your physical body, break it down, and rebuild it anew. Jingxi was alarmed and exclaimed to Elder Mo, doing that is no different from sending him to his death. The dragon transformation pill is a divine pill of the celestial realm. Its usage conditions are extremely harsh. If the refinement process fails, at best, one becomes crippled. At worst, their body explodes and they perish. However, its effects are also incredibly miraculous. It can strengthen one's foundation, replenish vital energy, and recultivate meridians, thereby breaking through realms. Although the dragon transformation pill can help advance one's cultivation level, 6 out of 10 users die. The danger is immeasurable, the old man declared with unwavering certainty. This was his one and only golden opportunity. If he missed it, failure was inevitable, and failure meant certain death. But as the two argued fiercely, Yi Shun stood silently aside, lost in thought. Moments later, he resolutely made his decision. I've brushed with death countless times. Once more won't make a difference. Your Highness, I am willing to risk my life to try this fire dragon pill. Jingxi was deeply worried for his life, but she couldn't stop him. Old Mo gave a cryptic smile, murmuring, This kid's got guts, not afraid of death. Interesting. Yishin smiled back. Taking the fire dragon pill to rebuild my body gives me a 40% chance of survival. If I don't take the risk, death is the only certainty. Seeing Jingxi's worry, Old Mo comforted her. Your Highness, don't worry too much. After he consumes the elixir and enters the blood pool to condense his true qi, his survival rate will increase to 50%. This blood pool possesses immense power, capable of absorbing the transforming dragon pill and repairing damaged meridians. A determined look settled on Yi Chen's handsome face. Tomorrow, I must use this elixir. Night fell, and he stood silently by the window, gazing into the distance. His mind drifted into memories of the past. These past months, every step has been fraught with danger, yet he miraculously overcame them all. He silently hoped that tomorrow would be just as smooth. Suddenly, he caught a glimpse of Xiao Jio's tail flickering in and out of sight, resembling that of a fish. He hurried over for a closer look. Could he be hallucinating? As he drew near, he found Xiao Jio sound asleep. He thought to himself, I must be seeing things. It's probably from staying up too late. The next day, at the princess's mansion, inside the blood pool, Jing Shi anxiously inquired about Yi Chen's condition. Brother Yi, will he be all right? The old man exclaimed, that brat dares to recklessly use the Hua Long pill. He truly has no regard for his own life. He truly possessed an iron will, an unwavering determination. Jing Shi continuously encouraged Yi Chun, brother Yi Chun, you must persevere and survive. Xiao Bai innocently asked Xiao Jio, hey Xiao Jio, do you think this kid can overcome this tribulation? Xiao Jio roared furiously at Xiao Bai. Damn dog, my name is Zhou Wu. Stop calling me random names. Yi Chan possesses a unique destiny, almost transcendent and ethereal. Everything is beyond the control of fate. The decisive moment of life and death had arrived. He slowly brought the pill to his lips and gently swallowed it. In an instant, his body became scorching hot, as if he was being burned in a hellish inferno. Moreover, fresh blood started to gush from his mouth. Witnessing this scene, Jing Shi's tears began to flow, and she rushed to his side. Yi Chun screamed in excruciating pain, his entire body drenched in fresh blood. Mo Lao sensed the situation was taking a turn for the worse. This isn't good. His blood flow is reversing. Jing Shi worriedly exclaimed, what's happening? Yi Chun was exerting all his strength to absorb the spiritual energy into his body. Suddenly, Mo Lao noticed a glimmer of hope beginning to emerge. The tide might be turning. Jing Shi anxiously asked Mo Lao about the situation. How can Yi Chen absorb the blood water? Is it dangerous? The old man gravely replied, it's hard to say. This is the first time I've witnessed such a thing. Just what kind of divine technique has this young man cultivated? He can even absorb the blood water of the blood lotus pool. She couldn't help but wonder to herself, could there be such a profound martial arts secret in this world that I've never known? This is truly the first time I've seen something like this. Xiao Bai's eyes widened in astonishment, as if they were about to pop out of their sockets. What in the world is going on? How did that kid Yi Chen suddenly become so powerful? His body was radiating a brilliant, dazzling aura. Yi Chen awakened from his deep sleep. This wondrous feeling, isn't this the effect of the heaven-devouring art? Thanks to the potent medicinal power, he had broken through, ascending to a new realm. For 7 days, Xing Xing stayed by his side, caring for An, encouraging Yi Chen. You must persevere. Yi Chen looked up at the vast sky, feeling the surge of power coursing through his veins, permeating his entire being. Cultivators prioritize cultivating the mind over the body, taking mental cultivation as the foundation. To attain the Tao is to live. To deviate from it is to perish. The Tao operates on the principle of balance, compensating for deficiencies with surpluses. The heaven-devouring art has unlocked my potential. Yi Chen proudly stepped into the mid-stage spirit condensation realm. Old Mo found himself intrigued. Things were getting interesting. It seemed this young man possessed quite a few extraordinary encounters. Jing Shi smiled with satisfaction. Yi Chen has finally broken through. Xiao Bai also rejoiced with excitement. This Yi Chen, his background is extraordinary, his identity shrouded in mystery. This Xiao Zhou naturally knows this. It's as clear as day. Otherwise, how could he have awakened my Zhou Wu? Yi Chen ascended into the air, then bowed his head, expressing his deep gratitude to the two. Your Highness, Old Mo, Yi Chen, was fortunate enough to have this breakthrough thanks to your assistance. The old man didn't forget to remind the young man, this is your own destiny. But even if you have successfully broken through, defeating Yi Qing Tian, I'm afraid, will still be incredibly difficult. Xing Shi sought every possible method, sparing no effort to help Yi Chen. That Yi Qing Tian is currently residing in my imperial brother's mansion, dedicating himself to cultivating dark arts, amplifying his demonic powers. He's cruel-hearted and cunningly insidious, not an opponent to be trifled with. In the next few months, I will arrange for the experts in the mansion to train with you to enhance your martial arts. The young man hastily bowed in gratitude, repeatedly thanking her. Thank you, Your Highness. On a beautiful, sunny day with clear blue skies, Pang Yungang, commander of Anan Yuan Imperial Guards, The peak divine realm expert wore a bored expression, glancing at Yi Chun with disdain. If it weren't for Her Highness the Princess's orders, I wouldn't even bother looking at a nameless nobody like you. Yi Chun smiled, introducing himself. Commander Pang, I am Yi Chun. Please enlighten me. I hope Commander Pang will give it his all, and not hold back. Commander Pang sneered, silently scorning Yi Chun. If Her Highness the Princess weren't here, one finger would be enough to crush you. Yi Chun focused intently, saying, Come on then. Commander Pang, completely unguarded and caught off guard, obediently followed Yi Chun's words and stepped forward. But Commander Pang never expected that Yi Chun had silently moved behind him at some point. By the time he realized it, it was too late. Yi Chun lightly kicked the back of Commander Pang's chair, sending him tumbling to the ground, wailing pathetically. At the Crown Prince's residence, Yi Qingtian was enduring a harsh scolding. The Crown Prince flew into a rage, his reprimand booming like thunder. He trembled, stammering explanations, trying to appease His Highness's fury. Please calm your anger, Your Highness. It was mainly due to Princess Xing, she's relentless interference. However, Yi Chun took the initiative to challenge this subordinate to a duel to the death at Qingyun Terrace. 3 months from now, Qingyun Terrace will be his burial ground. The Crown Prince pondered in silence for a long moment, then tossed him a medicinal pill. Qing Tian was stunned, staring at the pill in his hand with astonishment. The Shun Shun pill. The Shun Shun pill can absorb the world's spiritual energy into the body, guiding it to the Dantian, circulating 98 times. After consumption, one can instantly break through a realm, but its effects only last for 12 hours. The Crown Prince glanced at him, warning, In 3 months, if you fail again. Qing Tian hurriedly replied, Rest assured, Your Highness. After being thoroughly defeated by Yi Chun, Commander Pang was determined to get his revenge. If I don't avenge this, I don't deserve the name Pang. As soon as he finished speaking, he leaped into the air, unleashing a powerful punch straight at his opponent. Yi Chun focused intently, observing his opponent's every move. The two clashed, a fierce battle commencing. After a period of intense fighting, the outcome remained undecided. Rage surged within Pang Yunchang. This brat, he's actually a match for me. Damn it, Yi Chun excitedly taunted. Commander, use your full strength. He gritted his teeth, channeling all the internal energy he'd cultivated over 15 years to fight Yi Chun. Don't think that just because the princess favors you, you can act arrogant in front of me. Pang Yunchang unleashed his fierce tiger fist with terrifying power. Yi Chun countered with a profound returning deer skill. Both possessed exceptional martial arts skills, but Yi Chun held a slight edge in internal strength, sending Pang Yunchang flying out of the ring. Both had sustained considerable injuries. Pang Tongling was completely taken aback, unable to believe that the young man's energy had suddenly surged to such an extent. Despite his victory, Yi Chun remained humble, modestly saying, I was lucky to succeed, thanks to Commander Pang's guidance. Jing, she looked at him with admiration and respect. Brother Yi Chun, you are truly remarkable. Elder Mo was helpless against the princess's infatuation with Yi Chun. Her Highness's favor is starting to shift towards this outsider. He approached the arena and gave Yi Chun some instructions. Young man, the medicinal power of the Hua Long pill within you is immense. It needs time to settle and consolidate, and requires proper channeling and refinement. He politely replied, I'll trouble you, Elder. Elder Mo summoned his Yuanli hammer and said, I will use the Yuanli hammer to strike all your acupuncture points, stimulating your 8 extraordinary meridians. Endure the pain. With that, he directed the Yuanli hammer towards him. Waves of pain coursed through Yi Chen's body. The forced guidance of Yuan Li through his acupuncture points brought unexpected and intense agony. Even though the pain was so excruciating, he could barely stand. He gritted his teeth and persevered. Continue. Old Mo accelerated the blood awakening process, causing him to scream in agony. Jing, she stood outside, praying for Yi Chun. Old Mo asked again, seeking confirmation. He resolutely replied without hesitation, continue. And just like that, he endured over 10 waves of agonizing pain. Xiao sat nearby, casually poking at some rice. Is this kid a masochist or something? Xiao Jiu glanced back and retorted, the pot calling the kettle black. Old Mo was utterly astonished by his extraordinary endurance. This kid has remarkable willpower. He's destined for greatness. After everything was over, Jingxi rushed to Yi Chen's side, anxiously asking, Brother, are you all right? I'm fine, he replied weakly. I'm fine, and passed out, falling between two towering peaks. The sight made Jingxi blush crimson with embarrassment. She quickly ordered, Someone prepare a bath at once. The old servant standing beside her muttered, Your Highness, you should exercise some restraint. Xiao Bai was leisurely strolling along the corridor when it suddenly heard strange sounds coming from inside the room. Curious, it stealthily crept up to the door and pressed its ear against it to eavesdrop. Be gentle, it hurts. Try to bear with it a little longer. Almost done. These suggestive words filled Xiao Bai's mind with impure thoughts, leaving no room for innocence. It roared in anger. Yi Chun, you're just like that lecherous demon Lu Mang. Both of you are perverts. Suddenly, the door swung open, sending Xiao Bai flying backward. After careful observation, everything inside seemed perfectly normal, completely contrary to what Xiao Bai had imagined. The painful moans from earlier. As Yi Chun gently applied medicine to Jingxi's wound, they both froze, with Xiao Bai's sudden appearance. Embarrassed, it turned to leave, muttering, sorry to interrupt. Xiao Ju teased further. You a single dog? What are you doing here? Jingxi asked curiously. Is this Shui Zhun Tang from the Medicine Valley? Yi Chun quickly replied. Martial artists like us have rough bodies, thick skin, and flesh. How can we compare to your noble body? She retorted, That's not true. Don't you practice the dragon elephant prajna palm? That demonic art has a body-protecting effect. However, seeing the way you used your moves just now, it seems like you've only mastered half of it. Yi Chun replied with delight. It's indeed an incomplete manual, Your Highness. How do you know so much? Jingxi reminisced. When I was young in the Kunlun Library of the Holy Court, I happened to read records about the dragon elephant prajna palm. Yi Chun asked again to confirm. Brother, are you sure you haven't misremembered? She replied with a confident look. What my eyes have seen, they never forget. The young man asked curiously. Then where is the other half of the cultivation technique? Jingxi replied honestly. I have no impression of the other half at all. My elder brother has been diligently searching for it. Yi Tian was utterly astonished to hear her mention the crown prince. Jingxi continued. This cultivation technique is incredibly powerful, not to be underestimated. If you were to cultivate the entire technique, you could defeat Yi Tian. Yi Tian clenched his fists tightly, seemingly hiding something. Then he offered a compliment. Princess Jingxi, you are truly knowledgeable. She said shyly, You've been at my residence for days now, and you still call me princess? Just call me Jingxi. The young man responded awkwardly. How could I possibly do that? The entire household addresses you as princess. How could I dare call you by your given name? Jingxi playfully kicked him, silly. At the crack of dawn the next day, Pang Yungang was causing a ruckus throughout the mansion, yelling, Yi Chun, you brat, come out here. He maintained a relaxed smile, calmly watching him, casually greeting, Commander Pang, good morning. Yungang still hadn't cooled down from the humiliation he had suffered. Yesterday's pickpocketing wasn't enough, and now you're causing more trouble today. He thought to himself, wasn't kicking you yesterday enough? With that, he stretched, ready for a fight. Just finished washing dishes. Time to loosen up these muscles. Yungang warned. Be careful. I won't go easy on you this time. Without further ado, they clashed, a chaotic battle erupting. The fight raged for 7 days and nights. Finally, both were exhausted. Commander Pang's hand was swollen. He had to admit defeat, unable to continue fighting. I lose. How do you get stronger the more we fight? Yi Shun smirked, his voice arrogant. Have you learned the power of this master yet? Taking advantage of Yi Shun's unguarded moment, Commander Pang resorted to a despicable trick, landing a critical blow to Yi Shun's groin. A searing pain ripped through Yi Shun, causing him to cry out in agony. The result was predictable. Yi Shun's family jewels were shattered. They both launched into another fierce and merciless battle. Neither was willing to give an inch. You dare steal the Black Dragon Island heart pouch. 15 days later, both were in a sorry state, one with a swollen head, the other with a hand swollen to the size of a foot. Yishin looked at Pang Xiong with contempt. Your methods are becoming increasingly despicable. You! Pang Xiong was so angry he spat. He roared indignantly. How dare you accuse me? You just bit my hand. Xiao Jio was bored watching the fight. Why do I have the feeling these two are developing feelings for each other while fighting? Xiao Bai chuckled mischievously. Situational, romance. A silent night blanketed the Yi estate. All was still and asleep. Yi Ling Ni gazed at the night sky, a deep sadness reflected in her eyes. Just a little over a year left, father. Do you really want me to follow in your footsteps? Years ago, her father had taken his own life by self-immolation. Before leaving this world, he made sure to tell Ling Ni, "Father goes first, my child. Remember, even in death, never let yourself be used by others." Recalling the painful memories of that year, Ling Ni couldn't hold back the surge of emotions welling up inside. Yi Qing Tian, with a bright smile on his face, suddenly appeared behind her. Seeing Ling Ni's melancholic appearance, Yi Qing Tian spoke up. "Are you missing my younger brother again, little sister?" She bluntly questioned Yi Qing Tian. "What are you plotting this time?" He laughed loudly and replied, "I came to tell you something. He and I have made a pact to duel 3 months from now at Qingyan." Stunned by the shocking news, Ling Ni was completely taken aback, her face etched with disbelief. Qing Tian brought his handsome face close to hers, his voice a chilling threat. If she didn't want him to die, she had to obey him without question. He used his fan to lift her chin, whispering something secretive into her ear, something deeply confidential. With that, he turned and left, not forgetting to remind her, "Remember what I just said." Waiting until his figure disappeared completely, Ling Ni looked down at the poisoned needle resting in her palm, murmuring, "Yi Qing Tian, do you think Yi Ling Ni is easily threatened? I will make you taste death by your own hidden weapon." At the princess's mansion, Yi Shan was diligently practicing martial arts. Pang Yun Gang stealthily approached Elder Mo, whispering something in his ear. He seemed to be asking Elder Mo for a favor. "Elder Mo, could you teach me a few special techniques?" That brat Yi Shun is truly a tough opponent. The old man calmly explained everything to him in detail, saying that Yi Chan possessed a great destiny, carrying a heaven-sent fortune. You have no reason to feel wronged for losing to him. We are all members of the Bao Huang clan. You helped him refine the Hua Long pill, and also helped him temper his authority. Commander Yao Bang indignantly retorted, "This is looking out for the interests of an outsider, not considering the people of Mo Lao Bao. From now on, you need to get closer to Yi Chun, his devouring heaven art. Even the princess hasn't witnessed it." Yi Chun was focusing all his energy, trying to use the devouring heaven art to absorb the overflowing violent spiritual energy. He exerted all his strength, but nothing happened. Why isn't it working anymore? This devouring heaven art is truly wicked. Xiao Bai asked in confusion, "Yeah, why is it so unreliable?" Xiao Jiu had to utilize her vast knowledge once again, explain it thoroughly for this mere mortal to understand. This ancient, lost divine technique, how could he possibly grasp it completely? Moreover, his cultivation level is still too low. Witnessing Yi Chen's diligent and tireless training, Xing Shi thoughtfully brought him a cup of water. "Yi Chen, you're tired. Have some water." Yi Chen smiled and replied, "Thank you, Princess Xing Shi." Xing Shi's face flushed slightly, revealing the shyness of a young woman in love. Xiao Jiu and Xiao Bai stood nearby, observing and whispering, "That fool, Yi Chen really has the luck of a fool, to have caught the princess's eye. I don't understand what her highness sees in him either. It's truly baffling." Hearing this, Xiao Jiu puffed up his chest and said, "What do you know? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Understand, Xiaozi?" Xiao Jiu's inherent curiosity and nosiness flared up again. "What woke you?" Xiao Bai replied, frowning. "Wasn't it the bewitching heart protection? The bewitching heart protection? A sign of great calamity, heralding the return of demons." A servant girl passed by, looking at them in astonishment. "How strange. Even dogs and cats can talk to each other." Xiao Bai recounted, "I was woken by old Mo to protect the princess, the bearer of protective luck." "Were you woken by Yi Shun?" Xiao Jiu replied sadly, "Yes. 1,000 years ago, the great martial immortal emperor sealed the heavenly demon Xiang Lu. At the bewitching heart protection, the seal will weaken. I, Su Xing, was born from luck, and my father is the bearer of the son of luck, able to prevent Xiang Lu's resurrection and the calamity he would bring upon the world." While Yi Xin diligently cultivated, Xiao Bai suddenly discovered a shocking truth. He's the son of luck? Could this kid, Inside the quiet study of the Yi residence, Qing Tian and his father were discussing some important matters. Yi Tian Xiong asked, "Has Yi Ling Air's situation stabilized? Was she injured during that fight with Yi Shun?" Qing Tian angrily interrupted his father, fuming. "Yi Shun, that arrogant brat dared to lay a hand on my daughter." Tian Xiong felt uneasy and warned his son anxiously. "I noticed his cultivation technique is extremely strange and sinister. You must be extremely careful." Qing Tian confidently replied, "Don't worry, father. Look at what this is." As he finished speaking, he pulled a shimmering shun pill from his pocket. Seeing this precious pill, Tian Xiong felt somewhat relieved. Excellent. 12 hours, enough to finish him off. However, he's currently under the princess's protection, so it's best to proceed with caution. Hearing this, Qing Tian flashed a cunning and meaningful smile. "I'm afraid it won't be long before the princess herself struggles to stay safe." A new day dawned at the princess's magnificent estate. Outside in the garden, Elder Mo presented Yi Shun with a new, challenging trial. "Yi Shun, your martial skills are truly impressive, but you lack practical combat experience, the seasoning of true battle, the experience of life or death struggle. Starting today, you will engage in combat with monstrous beasts, tempering yourself in the fires of battle. This beast typically dwells on the western slopes of the mountain, its entire body covered in scales as hard as iron armor. This Zheng Shou's speed is incredibly swift, and its armored scales are exceptionally tough and resilient. Use it to train, to familiarize yourself with true combat. Pang Yin Gang eagerly awaits your performance. After this arduous training, Yi Shun, even I cannot defeat this Zheng Shou. Its entire body is encased in dragon armor, harder than refined steel. Its speed is even more astonishing. I want to see how you will handle it." Jing Shi, worried, urged Yi Shun to exercise extreme caution, contrary to the princess's fear. Yi Shun was filled with fighting spirit, his aura blazing. At this moment, the gate of the Zheng Shou's cage was open. The Zheng Shou and Yi Shun, after a long, intense stare down, the battle finally began. With an earth-shattering roar, the ferocious beast unleashed a powerful shockwave, threatening to obliterate everything in its path. With just a gape of its jaws, it seemed capable of swallowing Yi Shun whole. Zheng Shou struck first, forcing Yi Shun to continuously dodge a relentless barrage of attacks. They clashed and chased each other for hours, against terrifying speed and overwhelming power. Yi Shun began to tire. In a moment of weakness, Zheng Shou seized the opportunity, lunging right in front of him. Pang Yin Gang, standing outside, cheered and roared for Zheng Shou. "Fight him! Kill that arrogant brat!" he screamed. But then, Pang Yin Gang suddenly fell silent. An unbelievable sight unfolded before his eyes. A stunning and unexpected turn of events. With a single, simple punch, Yi Shun swiftly defeated Zheng Shou. Elder Mo thoughtfully remarked, "Dragon elephant subduing demon art, body tempering, strength enhancing." Bulging muscles and prominent tendons emerged. This kid actually woke up after 3 days in a coma. The force of that punch was astonishing. 1,000 pounds heavy. Yi Shun breathed a sigh of relief, thinking to himself, "That was close." A maid hurriedly reported, "Your Highness, Grand General Emoton, in 3 days, a grand celebration will be held at the Grand General's residence. This is an invitation, respectfully requesting Your Highness's presence." Jing Shi asked in surprise, "Grand General Emotion?" Yi Chen perked up his ears to eavesdrop, murmuring, "Grand General Mo?" The Grand General looked at the grown-up princess and said, "Your Highness must attend." Jing Shi expressed her hidden concerns. Grand General Emotion is highly respected and esteemed, but his son, it's hard to put into words. Commander Pang was startled upon hearing this person's reputation. Who is Grand General Emotion's son? Wang Tianyi, a resounding name. A man who proudly calls himself the little tyrant of Silver Commerce City. 2 days later, at the princess's magnificent estate, Jing Shi, the beautiful princess, gazed admiringly at the man before her, secretly expressing her surprise. To think this fool is actually so handsome, she thought. Pang Yungang, on the other hand, showed open disapproval. In his eyes, the young man, standing before them, was nothing more than a pretty face, a spoiled rich kid. As for our protagonist, the young man, suddenly noticed a gaze fixed intently upon him. He asked, "Your Highness, why do you keep staring at me? Is there something on my face?" Jingshi gently replied, "It's nothing. Don't style your hair like a hedgehog anymore. And these clothes, don't wear them again, please. But this azure robe of mine is impervious to all poisons and weapons." Yishan repeated. Hearing this, Pang Yungang scoffed. "Idiot. Your dragon elephant subduing demon skill is far superior to Qin Yi's." At this moment, Elder Imo suddenly spoke, instructing the two young men. "You two must diligently escort and protect the princess." Immediately afterward, Xing Shi and Xiao Jiu stepped into the palanquin. Xiao Bai, left behind, yelled at the wild cat. "You impudent feline! How dare you steal my spot, you shameless creature!" On the way to the capital city, the peddler's cries echoed endlessly. "Candied hawthorns, finest silks and brocades. Come on, come all." Witnessing the princess's palanquin passing by, the people lining the streets gasped in awe, whispering amongst themselves. "The princess's guards are truly exceptionally handsome," Xing Shi thought to himself. Handsome they are, but sadly a bit dim-witted. Shortly after, the procession stopped before a magnificent mansion. "Your Highness Xing Shi, we have arrived," a subordinate respectfully reported. Inside the mansion, someone hurriedly rushed out. He knelt down and reported to Tian Yi, Jr., General Yin, reporting, "Princess Meng has arrived." This imposing man, brimming with heroic spirit, was none other than Lieutenant General Wang Tianyi, the only son of the renowned Jinnan General Wang Mei. After hearing the report from his subordinate, he clenched his fists in excitement, booming, "Finally, this day has arrived. I've been waiting with bated breath." He then turned and inquired, "Have all the preparations been made?" "Rest assured, Lieutenant General. Yikan Tian has arranged everything meticulously," his subordinate replied respectfully. Hearing this, Wang Tianyi felt an indescribable joy surge within him. "After today, I, your young master, will officially become the prince consort." With those words, he strode swiftly towards the princess's palace. But at this moment, Tianyi suddenly transformed into a perverted scoundrel. He approached the princess and said in a sickeningly sweet voice, "Jing Shi, my dear sister, have you missed me?" The beautiful princess, horrified, recoiled. Fortunately, at that very moment, someone came to her rescue. It was Yi Shun, who managed to stop Wang Tianyi in time. Yi Shun twisted his arm backwards, causing him excruciating pain. He could barely manage to utter a word. How can a mere servant be this strong? "Who are you?" The lieutenant general's subordinates are nothing but bullies. A wise dog shouldn't block the road. This servant has no manners. How dare you not kneel before the lieutenant general? Finally losing his patience, Xing Shi demanded an answer. "My guard doesn't kneel before anyone, and my name is not something you can just casually utter." Tianyi, hearing that, his blood boiled with rage. "Princess, are you telling me that your manor servants are as arrogant and unruly as wild dogs? They don't know how to behave submissively before their master?" He glared at the male lead, whose killing intent was palpable, his fury growing. "You lowly scum, how dare you glare at me? Teach this dog a lesson." Upon hearing the order, the lieutenant general's subordinates immediately drew their swords. Prepare for action. They plotted a surprise attack on Yi Shun, but to their shock, their swords shattered upon impact. Not only was the hero unharmed, but he also terrified his enemies. Who is this servant that can shatter swords with his bare hands? Wang Tianyi witnessed this scene, his eyes filled with terror. He never expected this lowly servant to possess such terrifying power. The underlings trembled like leaves. This man was clearly no ordinary person. Pang Yungang maintained his defiant expression. "This brat just loves to show off wherever he goes." "Jing," she interrupted Wang Tianyi. "Do you intend to harm my guard?" The man remained silent, only uttering a single word filled with contempt. "Despicable." He was a coward, relying on his underlings to save him. "Please calm down, princess. Our young master has always been stubborn. I beg the princess to forgive his rudeness." But Jing, she wasn't one to back down. She raised her voice and warned Wang Tianyi, "You better watch yourself. Even if this is the general's manor, it's not a place where you can act so recklessly." Tianyi finally relented and bowed his head in apology. "The princess is right. Today is my father's birthday celebration. I have truly been disrespectful." Finishing his words, he turned and signaled to his subordinate with a nod, his eyes hinting at a deeper scheme. The subordinate spoke up. The birthday banquet is about to begin. We invite the princess and your 2 attendants to the main hall to wait. I want to go with the princess. Ye Shen exclaimed. Yin Gang, hearing this, gently explained. The seating arrangements at the banquet are separate from men and women. The ladies will go to the back courtyard to rest, while we men can only go to the main hall. But the protagonist hesitated. Jing Shi cheerfully called Xiaobai over. Then she turned around and said to Yishan, "It's all right, we have Xiaobai." Witnessing another spirit beast being so adored, Xiao Jiu couldn't help but feel jealous and spoke up. "Can you even protect the princess? Who's more terrifying than a 10,000-year-old demon slayer like you?" Xiaobai replied. Wang Tianyi glanced at Xiaobai and said softly, "What good is a dog?" Later, on the other side, Yun Gang was also trying his best to comfort the male lead. "This is the general's manner. What could possibly happen? Don't worry, inside the front hall." Yishan looked at the person in front of him, suspicion arising in his heart. What is Yi Kan Tien up to? Note, keeping Kan Tien, as is due to lack of pinyin context. It's likely 2 words and needs to be separated for accurate pinyin conversion. Meanwhile, Jingxi had been brought to the front of the room. Seeing the unfamiliar scene before her, the girl asked, "Butler, weren't we going to the back garden?" This place. Suddenly, at that moment, the man shoved Jingxi inside, then quickly locked the door. The princess stepped into the room, her heart filled with dread. "Xiaobai, where are we?" Suddenly, she noticed Wang Tianyi's presence. "You, what are you doing?" The man's bestial nature began to surface. "I just want to have a little chat with Sister Xingxi." Upon hearing this, the girl shouted, "You shameless scoundrel! How dare you? Wang Tianyi, how dare you try to violate me? I will report this to my father, and he will have your head." How could Tianyi miss this golden opportunity? He said brazenly, "Don't worry, after tonight, His Majesty will be all the more eager to marry you off to me. The sooner, the better. Help! Someone help me!" Xingxi screamed in terror. Just then, a mysterious force flung the man away. He roared in anger, "Who dares to ruin my plans?" Looking at the colossal creature before him, Tianyi began to tremble. What kind of monster is this?" The beast spoke in a low voice. "Your Highness, get on my back." You came to save me?" Xingxi asked. The lieutenant general's face was increasingly etched with horror. "Which beast dares to be so bold?" "Guards, protect me!" he shrieked in terror. As soon as he finished speaking, the entire room suddenly collapsed, creating a giant pit. The horrifying scene before them left his subordinates gaping in astonishment. In an instant, Xiaobai transformed into a terrifying beast, radiating a potent murderous aura. He growled, each word dripping with menace. "You foolish insects! You dare to touch my master? I am a noble divine beast," he roared with authority. Immediately after, Xiaobai swung his sharp claws, piercing them straight into Tianyi's eyes without hesitation. Blood spurted out, splattering everywhere. Xiaobai roared furiously, "Damn you! You're the beast. You dare harm my master." Then he turned to Xingxi and said, "Princess, hold on tight." Without another word, Xiaobai boldly carried the princess away from the scene. Wang Tianyi could hardly let them escape so easily. He angrily commanded, "All soldiers, listen up. Capture them alive." Just at that moment, Yishan also noticed Xiao by escaping with Xingxi. Panicked and fleeing, the young man urgently urged his companion, "Brother Pang, hurry. The princess is in danger." At that moment, Xiaobai was surrounded by Tianyi subordinates. Witnessing the scene, the male lead immediately rushed forward, his dragon elephant divine art ready to be unleashed. But before he could even gather his energy, the princess stopped him. "Yichun, stop. Come quickly. Tian is now crippled and extremely weak. He can only helplessly watch as we make our escape." Ahead, Pang Yungang was struggling to hold onto Xiaobai's tail, trying to keep his balance while yelling, "Slow down. I'm about to fall. Brother Pang, hold on tight." Yichen replied, Tian Yi's subordinates were certainly no match for Xiaobai. In the end, they had to admit defeat against the divine beast's power. The lieutenant general was practically driven mad. He gritted his teeth, swearing to heaven and earth, "I will definitely avenge this. Otherwise, I swear I'm not human." At the princess's residence, Xiaobai collapsed unconscious the moment he arrived. Witnessing the scene, old Emo rushed to his side, anxiously asking, "What happened?" "Quickly, summon the imperial physician," the male lead shouted. Inside the quiet room, the imperial physician was meticulously taking Jing Shi's pulse, while Yi Shun and several other officials were in a heated discussion about preparing her attire. That old Wang Tianyi, the assistant general, dared to disrespect the princess. Yin Gang loudly accused. The elder statesman slowly replied. The previous incident involving the princess had many suspicious points. I fear there's a mastermind pulling the strings from behind. The male lead, looking dubious, spoke up. This matter is definitely related to Yi Qingtian. He then turned to ask the imperial physician, how is the princess doing now? The princess was just frightened. Fortunately, there's nothing serious with her health. Just as the imperial physician finished speaking, Jing Shi's eyes fluttered open. Upon regaining consciousness, she immediately called out Yi Chen's name. The man beside her solicitously inquired, Princess, how are you feeling? I'm all right, but my Xiao Bai. Jing Shi trailed off. Just then, Xiao Bai swiftly leaped through the window and into the room. Your Highness, I'm here. Jing Shi affectionately stroked the small creature in her arms and softly asked, Xiao Bai, could you be the enormous divine beast from before? Lao Mo replied unexpectedly, yes. Xiao Bai is the Tiango divine beast. In this life, he has vowed to be the princess's spirit guardian. No wonder I always felt there was something different about Xiao Bai. Xiao Bai is a divine beast. Yichen spoke up. Then, both he and Yun Gang simultaneously glanced toward the corner of the room and exclaimed in unison, then that cat is also a divine beast. Xiao Jiu feigned an innocent, clueless expression. Inwardly, Xiao Bai was sneering. Keep pretending, you demon. At this moment, Yi Chun softly asked, could the strange things we've encountered be connected to it somehow? You fool, you're blessed but don't realize it. You'll understand when the time is right. Montauk Lao replied. Shangxi was still haunted by the previous scene. Wang Tianyi may be arrogant and rebellious, but he dared to provoke me so blatantly. Isn't he afraid of being punished by the emperor? Hearing this, Mo Lao slowly said, currently, the crown prince is manipulating the court, holding immense power. Wang Tianyi must have colluded with the crown prince to act so recklessly. Furthermore, General Wang Mang commands 20,000 troops. Now, His Majesty is gravely ill and weak, unable to do anything, even to protect the Sheng Ting de zone. His Majesty is forced to. The only solution is to marry the princess to Wang Tianyi. As the emperor, can't he even decide on his own daughter's marriage? Can't he make his own decisions? Yishin expressed his outrage. Xiao Jiu, standing beside him, could only sigh silently. You fool. Do you understand what it means by the most heartless place is the imperial family? Pang Yungang couldn't help but ask worriedly. Old Mo, are we just going to let this happen? The man replied, their forces are too strong right now. It's best we lie low for the time being. We'll wait 2 months. After Qingyun Tai eliminates Jingyi, then we'll make our move. Xing Shi hurriedly said, then, let's quickly leave this chaotic place and seek refuge at Purple Sword Manor, my mother's former residence. Let me give you a brief introduction. Purple Sword Manor is located in the Shanhai continent, the #1 Sword Dao sect in the world. The wheels of fate begin to turn. Our protagonist and Yun Gang lead the way. Yishin warns everyone. This is a covert mission. We don't need the vanguard of guards. Ahead lies Jushan. The mountain is teeming with ferocious demonic beasts. Everyone must be extremely cautious. Yun Gang seems thrilled by the warning. Demonic beasts? Excellent. Let me test the might of my iron fist. The young man's wish is quickly granted. Suddenly, an immense surge of primal energy erupts, engulfing everyone, blocking the group's path. Elder Mo senses the approaching danger and shouts, a great demon, perhaps a demon beast of the spirit condensation realm. The two divine beasts think to themselves, its power is negligible, but this formation is quite formidable. Just then, a ferocious demon lunges forward, its eyes bloodshot, ready for battle. Suddenly, a voice called out from Jing Shi inside the carriage. Ordinary demonic beasts are nothing to worry about. But if we encounter the bristleback boar demon of Ju Mountain, I'm afraid Pang Yingong's face was filled with confusion. Bristleback? Isn't that just a wild boar with long claws? What's so scary about that? Hearing this, Yishun calmly explained, Brother Pang, you've never lived deep in the mountains. There's a saying in the mountains, first boar, second wolf, third tiger. Jing Shi quickly added. Moreover, the bristleback boar demon isn't like other demonic beasts. Bristleback not only has thick skin and a lot of fat, but it's also incredibly agile. Furthermore, it possesses unmatched strength. Even a divine ability realm expert wouldn't dare claim an easy victory against it. That's right. Montauk Lao exclaimed. The two divine beasts then chimed in, taking turns speaking. It's just a tiny wild boar. Exactly. Just then, the ferocious beast from earlier suddenly charged forward. The deafening roar it unleashed alerted our protagonist. As it opened its jaws in a terrifying growl, a wave of menacing demonic energy erupted. Yishin struggled to withstand the overwhelming pressure from the demonic aura. He shouted a warning. The demonic energy is too strong. Everyone, be careful. Its target is definitely Li Li. The princess watched anxiously as the beast drew closer. In a flash, it began to move with incredible speed, appearing and disappearing in the blink of an eye. In the mere span of a moment, it materialized right in front of the young man, leaving him utterly stunned. So fast, he exclaimed. As he fought the beast, he couldn't help but marvel. Li Li's speed is even faster than lightning. Too strong. Just as he finished speaking, Yishan was sent flying by a powerful blow from the ferocious beast. Mo Lao was forced to intervene. Yun Gang also appeared, leaping onto the back of the monstrous beast. Taste the blade of this young master. With those words, he swung his blade, slashing at the pig demon's body, but it didn't leave a single scratch. Damn it, thick skin like a bandit. Just then, the protagonist warned Yun Gang to proceed with caution, because if it was provoked into a frenzy, it would be even harder to subdue. The man attacked again, bringing his blade down once more. Take this! From the beast's ferocious gaze. Both Jing Shi and Xiao Bai sensed the impending danger. This pig demon was truly enraged. In the blink of an eye, the ferocious beast charged straight towards Jing Shi. The girl was momentarily flustered, unsure of what to do when Yichin swiftly rushed to her rescue. Your Highness, Elder Mo, Brother Pang, protect the princess. I'll lure it away. The brave young man soared into the air and resolutely engaged the ferocious Zhu Yao in battle. Dragon Elephant subduing demon skill. In an instant, he was sent flying by the monster once again. Zing vi screamem inori. Yichen. Yun Gang beside her exclaimed in awe. This is bad. After its berserk transformation, this terrifying power, even the dragon elephant's subduing demon skill, is no match for it. A voice suddenly boomed from above. Is that just a wild boar? Hearing this, Yun Gang turned to Xiao Bai and asked, between you and this Zhu Yao, who is stronger? This divine beast's realm surpasses this Zhu Yao by 100,000 miles, Xiao Bai retorted. The young man asked skeptically, really? Xiao Bai affirmed, I only need to show myself to scare it to death. Only Xiao Jiu beside them remained calm and collected. Take it easy, let the youngsters train a bit. Yi Chun swiftly dashed forward. He continued to execute the devouring heaven finger. Before he could even make a move, before he could launch a single attack, he was sent flying several meters. Why isn't this devouring heaven technique working? The protagonist exclaimed in confusion. Hearing this, Jingshi immediately offered an explanation. Yi Shun, the primal energy you've absorbed is too chaotic. The energy within your body isn't pure. Try expelling all your current primal energy, then utilize the devouring heaven technique. As if struck by lightning, the protagonist's eyes lit up with understanding. That's right. Once I use up all my current primal energy, I can absorb new energy. With those words, the young man shot towards the beast like an arrow. Upon reaching his target, he unleashed a devastating kick that made Zhu Yao cry out in pain. Jing Shi, watching from the side, was filled with worry. Yi Shun, be careful of Li Li's special technique. Don't worry, I'll give it my all, the protagonist replied. The protagonist answered resolutely. Immediately after, he launched a relentless barrage of attacks at Zhu Yao. Then suddenly, he roared. Yi Shun's Yuan Li was completely depleted, triggering the activation of the devouring heaven art. Witnessing the perilous situation unfolding before them, everyone cried out Yi Shun's name in unison. As night fell and a cool breeze swept through, the group gathered together, holding fragrant pieces of roasted meat from the demon boar they had subdued in the afternoon. As they ate, they chatted animatedly. That was close. Luckily, the devouring heaven art was activated in time. Otherwise, we would be the ones being roasted right now. Yin Gang added. Yin Gang continued. Suddenly, Yi Shun spoke up. Your Highness, you said that. You had never witnessed the devouring heaven art. So how did you recognize it? The princess gently explained. The cultivation techniques in this world, no matter how much they may vary, their fundamental principles remain the same. In Kuan Luan's study, I once read about a cultivation technique called the Kuan Tian art, which shares many similarities with the devouring heaven art. The male lead quickly replied, "This great battle with Li, though dangerous, has also brought us significant benefits. I have awakened the fourth lesser heavenly cycle. Indeed, thanks to this great battle, Qin Yun Tai's chances of victory have increased significantly." Elder Mo said privately to Pang Yun Gang, "Just stay put and focus on gnawing on your roasted meat." He muttered to himself, "This lucky bastard, how is he so fortunate?" As for the beast gods, they were lying on their backs under the night sky, each one murmuring wistfully, "Gozi, lately I've had a strong feeling that Xiang Lu might break the seal in this lifetime. Why is it that for thousands of years, every time I awaken, I only encounter insignificant formation? But this time, I wonder if Xiang Lu's helpers from back then are still..." Xiaobai interrupted, "Speaking of which, ever since the martial emperor killed Xiang Lu, this is the first time I've witnessed this since awakening." It then looked up at the night sky and exclaimed in awe, "Quick, look, the blood moon. Over here." Those on the princess's side also quickly noticed the unusual phenomenon. Old Mo said in a deep voice, "This is the third time the blood moon has appeared this year. It's both the time of the Huanghe's malicious intent and coincides with the night of the blood moon." Jing Shi sighed. Xiaojiu agreed. "The blood moon has been appearing frequently lately, much more often than 100 years ago. The heavens and earth are changing. I wonder this time if the child of destiny can prevent the great tribulation that is about to befall all beings." Xiaobai continued. Yishin silently watched the blood moon throughout the night, lost in deep thought. Time flew by, and in the blink of an eye, it was the next day. On the way, the male lead suddenly asked His Highness, "Where did the Purple Sword Mountain Villa originate?" "You don't even know about the world-renowned Purple Sword Mountain Villa?" Yun Gang blurted out in surprise. Yichin cautiously replied, "I don't." Yin Gang, having a competitive nature, told Yi Chun, "Let me tell you, kid, you have to beg me before I'll tell you." All right, consider me begging you," Yi Chun casually replied. Hearing this, Yin Gang was overjoyed, thinking to himself, "Finally, I've won against you for once." Then he explained, "The Purple Sword Mountain Villa is a sacred ground of swordsmanship, a gathering place for sword masters. The Villa Master of Purple Sword Mountain Villa has surpassed countless renowned sword masters, a truly legendary figure. And currently, that person is Her Highness the Princess's uncle. So, it's the imperial uncle, Xiao Changqing, the one known as the Three Divine Swords?" Jingxi exclaimed, "It's been a while since I've seen him." Old Mo maintained his usual cheerful expression. Yichin then asked, "So what realm is the imperial uncle, the Three Divine Swords Xiao Changqing, currently in?" Yun Gong replied, "Guojioga. Once a sword is in his hand, can fly with his sword, San Gang Hong Tin, just like an immortal. In short, he's a legendary sword immortal. When you meet Guojioga later, stay calm, don't wet your pants." Suddenly, a powerful spiritual force emerged from thin air, like lightning, striking straight towards Yi Chun, who was riding on horseback. Sensing imminent danger, the man quickly dodged. A thud echoed. The young man spun in the air and landed gracefully on the ground. "Who's there?" the young man demanded. "Show yourself." A man slowly emerged from the nearby bushes. "Cousin, long time no see." Both cousins, Jing Shi, exclaimed in surprise. "So it's second young master Xiao." Mo Lao said, "This young man is Xiao Yuqing, the second young master of the Purple Sword Villa, a peak spirit condensation realm expert." Yi Chun, standing beside them, couldn't help but exclaim in surprise, "Ku!" Cousin's token of affection was a single flower. Witnessing this, Yun Gang smirked inwardly. Such terrible luck, isn't it? Barely arrived, and he's already offended the princess mother's family. Let's see how this Xiaozi, young man/kid, will handle this. Xiao Yuqing looked at the male lead with disdain. This guard looks decent enough, but he's clearly clueless and ill-mannered. Who allowed you to snatch the flower I gave to my cousin? Hearing this, Jingxi immediately spoke up for the young man. Cousin, Yi Shun is my guard. He doesn't know you. Please don't blame him. Xiao Yuqing continued his taunts. Even my cousin is defending this kid. This penniless brat. He's clearly trying to use you, a golden phoenix, to climb the social ladder. Cousin, your words are outrageous. Jingxi retorted. Even the two divine beasts nearby were enjoying the show, relishing the drama unfolding before them. It seemed this time, the rival was no pushover. Just then, Yu Cheng unexpectedly took the princess's hand and spoke up. "Let's go. Your cousin will take you up the mountain. Once there, he'll surely say that he only brought one jade mirror pearl this time, and can only take you with him." The Jade Mirror Pearl is a high-level spiritual treasure, capable of protecting those below the divine ability realm. It's single-use, for teleportation. He then turned to Yi Chun and asked, "Youngster, have you ever experienced a teleportation formation?" "Never," the young man replied. Yu Chun couldn't miss the chance to taunt someone. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to eat or sleep well. He sneered. This teleportation formation is powered by incredibly precious spirit stones, incomparable to anything else. You'll probably never have the chance to step foot on it in your lifetime. A measly teleportation formation, and you think it's worth bragging about? Second cousin, you did that on purpose. She then turned to the main character. Yi Chun, don't be mad. Second cousin, and I will wait for you on the mountain. My cousin mentioned that when we use the teleportation array to ascend a mountain, we'll be able to admire the magnificent Sword Mountain Cloud Sea of the Purple Sword Manor. We've all heard of this place for a long time in Jade City. Old Emo finally spoke up. Jingzhou rarely opens its doors, yet you all can ascend the mountain on your own. Brother Pang, why can't we use the teleportation array? Yichen asked curiously. The man replied, this teleportation array possesses extremely powerful spiritual pressure. For those below the divine realm, without Jingzhou's protection, rashly entering would result in being crushed to dust by the spiritual pressure. Well then, let's climb. Xiao Yuqing channeled his spiritual energy, and in the blink of an eye, appeared before Yi Chun. He put on an arrogant expression and warned, "Kid, do you now understand the difference between you and my cousin? A lowly toad like you, in your entire life, can't even see a glimmer of light on that mountain peak, and yet you still dream of devouring Tian-Yi? How delusional." Jing, she patiently tried to reason with Xiao Yuqing. "If you keep talking nonsense, I will truly get angry." Even old Mo couldn't help but sigh in exasperation. These two young masters, their temperaments haven't changed a bit since they were children. Yi Shun's face was filled with disdain. With that kind of character, even this princess wouldn't bat an eye at him. Only Yun Gang remained indifferent, seemingly uninterested in the world. "Let's go, Yi Shun. It'll take a day to climb to the summit from here. Why am I always the one who has to suffer?" Xiao, by suddenly perked up, striking up a conversation with the divine beast beside him. "Hey, old Say, tell me, is that brat Yi Shun jealous?" "Which eye of yours saw that?" Xiao Jiu calmly retorted. The other divine beast, upon hearing this, expressed its indignation. "If I could beat you, I would have already unleashed my fury." Even Xiao Jiu surprisingly found common ground with Xiao Bai for once. "I don't know if it's jealousy or not, but that Xiao Yuqing kid really rubs me the wrong way. He's just so irritating to look at." Xiao Bai replied to the two children, as if finding kindred spirits, both chiming in to badmouth him, causing Yu Cheng in the distance to sneeze repeatedly. Upon arriving at Di Bingshan, the male lead asked Xing Shi, "Little sister, you've been in the capital for so long. Do you miss the scenery here?"